So while they're learning the basic C notes on the staff, the songs that are made up just of C or maybe a couple notes right around middle C, that's a good time for them to be mastering their keyboard geography and making sure that they are 100% that layer, that foundation is solid. Then we add notes on the staff going up. We add C, we add D, we add E, then we go down and we add B, then we continue up a little more, down a little bit more. So with any class, one of the Piano Lab teachers should be able to look at the song that they're currently working on and know exactly what these students should be able to identify on the keyboard and on the staff. And so that's how we, do a lot of our different drills and games in class and adapt them to each group. Hand position and fingering comes a little bit later. It comes with a song called Blue Skies, Gray Skies in the book, and that's about the 100-page mark. And that's the first time that the students are given specific instructions on which fingers to use for which notes. Now, well before Blue Skies, Gray Skies, students might transition from poking the notes to trying to use multiple fingers to play the notes. But that is an additional level of difficulty. And if you're observing your student and they seem to know the notes on the piano and they know the notes on the page, but they're really struggling to play the song, maybe find out, are they setting their hands in a position and sticking to that position every single time? Because if they're changing their hand position each time they play it, they might as well be learning a completely new song. Are their fingers not quite ready for a hand position? In which case you might recommend that they stick to their index fingers. That can have its own challenge because then you're having to look up and down to find the note because your hand is moving. But again, we have to decide which challenge is better for that student at that time. Once we get to Blue Skies, Gray Skies, then we really are getting very precise and asking students to have arms extended, wrists up, fingers relaxed, but able to put every fingertip on the keyboard and to be clear about which finger's playing which note. So I might say, get your hands in position for Blue Skies according to the markings on the page. And the markings on the page will say right hand, first finger on E, left hand, first finger on C. So they need to extrapolate from that where all their other fingers go. And then once their hands are there, I might say, now play an F. Which finger just played the F? And they'll say, my second finger. Okay, now play an A. Which finger just played the A? Well, my right hand fourth finger played an A. So that way they're starting to make that connection between which finger's on which note, and it's just like learning how to type. Then they can stare at the page and manipulate their hands. Again, it's another layer of difficulty. So as the parents, what I really want you all to be aware of are these different layers. Understanding the rhythms, knowing how long each note lasts, knowing the keyboard, being able to identify notes by their relationship to the black keys, not by using your alphabet. Then reading notes on the staff and being able to recognize them as quickly as you would recognize your alphabet letters, knowing that the first line on the treble staff is an E, seeing it, knowing it, speaking it. So when they're practicing their songs at home, I often say, speak the song before you play it. Clap it to get the rhythms, and then speak it to make sure you know the notes, and then play it, because that's when all the coordination gets involved. And that's like I've said several times, it's another layer of difficulty. So we need to know, are they struggling with the rhythms? Are they struggling with where the notes are on the keyboard? Are they struggling with which note is that on the staff? Or are they struggling with the manipulation of their hands and their fingering? And they may not be struggling at all, but those are the places that we can extract one piece, add another, observe, and help them master each piece. But I hope this is helpful. Please put some comments and feedback for me so that I know what I did answer and what I didn't answer. Oh, in terms of how long each day, if the students are starting out with piano and they can carve out 10-15 minutes a day for 5 days a week, we're starting to build a habit. If we can expand that to 20 minutes sooner than later, that's great. But again, Students can sit at a piano for 15, 20, 30 minutes and not really be effective in their practicing. If you just hear them playing through their songs a few times, then they may not be getting all of the mastery that they need. There are certain things that a student might be able to do that they wouldn't be able to explain. Meaning, looking on the staff, they might be able to extrapolate that, okay, that's going up a third, just using spatial cues, they could figure out what direction and how far their finger is supposed to move. But what we really want them to be doing while the songs are nice and simple is memorizing those note names. So speaking the song, playing it backwards, starting in the middle, switching hands, anything they can do to make sure that that song is understood inside and out. Because it's true, with this method, the technical difficulty of whole hand, 10-finger movement doesn't come for a while. But by the time we get there, they're reading. There's no question that they are reading the notes rather than kind of feeling their way and kind of making educated guesses. And that's really what we want for the kids, is that they have full music literacy and the proficiency that comes with that. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. And again, let me know if there are any further questions. I'd be happy to answer so that we can help those kids. Thanks.